Alert day conditions across southern Wisconsin for your Thursday afternoon. We're outlining what we can expect this evening in the full forecast.
Also, a Sun Prairie family continues to push for change after losing two boys in a drowning, what their mother wants the community to know. And later, as the November election gets closer, absentee ballots are becoming a big talking point. We talk with city officials on how technology is used to verify those ballots once they're turned in. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 6. Southern Wisconsin is under yet another threat of severe weather this evening. This after storms from the past couple of days fizzled out before they could make it here. But will tonight be different? Let's check First Warn forecast and meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze?
And we're hearing some rumbles of thunder as I'm stepping outside here on the weather patio. Cells developing just to my east and west. But thankfully, we haven't had any severe thunderstorms here yet. But we have seen a couple of funnel clouds, not to mention some flash flooding concerns as storms continue to develop and slowly move across southern Wisconsin. So we're going to keep that alert day here through at least the early evening. Strong winds and heavy rain are going to be our main threats. But as I mentioned, a funnel or two along with possibly even a weak tornado cannot be ruled out. We're underneath that marginal risk for severe weather. There was a look at I mentioned, kind of our severe weather impacts. I would put flooding and then those winds as our main threats, follow them by hail as well as those weak funnels as well as an isolated tornado or two. We had a funnel near the Dells outside of Baraboo and then in Rubicon in parts of Dodge County already this afternoon, possibly one up in Grand Marsh as well as these storms continue to slowly develop and push their way eastward as we go throughout the rest of this evening. Now, flooding is really our main concern right now. Watch over the last few hours, these storms slowly moving east. That's why we have flash flood warnings there across parts of Adams County as well as Waushara County. And this is the reason why an estimated 4.5 inches of rain falling in parts of western Waushara County. So that could lead to some minor flash flooding. And of course, we don't want that or you to be caught underneath some flash flooding concerns. So if you come across a flooded area, turn around, don't drown. Temperatures quickly in the 70s and 80s, upper 60s where it's been raining. A cool down is in the forecast as well. We'll track it out in just a few minutes.
All right, Blaze, thank you. A family in Sun Prairie pushing for change as they continue to mourn the loss of two young boys. Back in January, 8-year-old Legend and 6-year-old Antoine drowned in a pond outside their apartment building. Our Maddie Heimsch spoke with their mother.
It was this pond behind me that Antoine and Legend fell into through a layer of ice back in January. Both boys died later in the hospital, and now their family is continuing to advocate for safety measures that could save the lives of other children.
I want to make sure that this never happens again.
Just days after the brothers' deaths, the city of Sun Prairie installed a chain link fence surrounding the pond. But just months later, the boys' mom, Kiana Menjing Sims, watched the fence come down from her apartment that overlooks the water. She says she felt the city had already forgotten the danger her sons had faced just months earlier and the grief she still feels every day.
It's been hard, but I'm strong.
Now she wants to make sure other children are protected.
Especially low-income housing, that they're throwing up a lot of buildings. I just seen that they threw another building up on a very busy street off of East Washington. You know, like, what's going to be next? A kid run outside and then gets hit. Like, they have to think also. Like, we want to house people, but we want to make sure everybody gets safe.
Sun Prairie officials say the fence was taken down to make way for long-term solutions.
We have a plan to install vegetative buffers as a natural barrier to the pond. And then we've implemented approximately 200 different signs of caution and hazard around ponds in Sun Prairie.
Menjing Sims says signs just aren't enough.
They both just had good spirits and such a good future ahead of them, and it's just gone.
The boys' mother is holding an event this Saturday at 1 to remember the boys and celebrate what would have been Legend's 9th birthday. Reporting in Sun Prairie, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. On Capitol Hill, Democrats are regrouping after the Tax Relief for American Families and Workers Act failed to pass the Senate. Wisconsin U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin said the bill would have helped families in the state who need a little breathing room for rising costs. She says she was concerned with the lack of bipartisanship after the bill duly passed the House.
The folks that get harmed by this are hardworking families trying to afford to raise children and people who need affordable housing, and our small businesses that are trying to grow. All of those would be benefited if we can get Republicans to join us and pass what was a bipartisan bill to begin with.
Senate Republicans oppose the funding mechanism of the bill and allege that Democrats are using the bill only for political purposes. Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris will be visiting western Wisconsin next week. The vice president will be in Eau Claire on Wednesday the 7th for a campaign event. So far, we don't know exactly where it'll take place. We only know it'll run from 11 in the morning to 6 in the evening. It's in coordination with WISC-Dems and will likely include a newly announced running mate. A judge is refusing to hold a ruling that allows disabled people in Wisconsin to be emailed absentee ballots at home for the upcoming election. Republicans asked Judge Everett Mitchell to not enforce his ruling while their appeal is pending. But today, he rejected their arguments, saying putting his ruling on hold, quote, would inflict significant harm on both the disability rights advocates and the public interest. It'll now be up to the state appeals court to decide whether to pause the ruling before the November 5th election. And with this being a big election year, the city of Madison taking extra measures to teach people about the voting process. Our Merrill Hubbard walks us through where your ballot goes once you submit it and the technology put in place to make sure it counts.
Technology is always advancing, and with the presidential election coming up in November, the city plans to implement this new machine that will sort and verify people's absentee ballot envelopes before they go off to be counted. This $800,000 system is the sorting step before ballots get counted. The envelopes will go through the processor at least twice to make sure they have all the correct information.
We load them in here, and then they'll do a first run on there where they make sure if anything's missing, the machine will automatically be able to tell if a voter signature is missing. There is a human review that happens as well to make sure that the machine is reading that appropriately.
This sorting machine will not be in use until the November election, but these counting machines have been used in Madison since 2016.
And so voters insert their ballot here, and then the machine will count it, it'll drop down, and then they store here until election day is over, and then they'll process it and pull out all the envelopes and seal them up in a tamper-seal bag.
Between man-made and human verification, the process covers every step to make sure that your vote counts.
Yeah, I think it's important to have this machine because it helps ensure that we're being as efficient as possible.
The city is still preparing everything from the mechanics to the people that will take care of this machine, but they say that everything will be ready by the upcoming presidential election. Reporting in Madison, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Merrill, thank you. If you want to learn more about how the counting machine works, you can attend a public observation test that the city is holding on Saturday at 9 a.m. More details on this will be linked at channel3000.com. Well, today is World Lung Cancer Day, a time to raise awareness about the leading cause of cancer deaths worldwide. The disease claims the lives of about 370 Americans every single day. A new survey by the American Lung Association finds 62% of people are not familiar with the life-saving screenings for lung cancer. For those 50 and older with a 20-pack year history of smoking, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services recommends a CT scan.
You roll through it and a couple times back and forth. So it's scanning your lungs during that. It's a pretty quick procedure, under 10 minutes. Think of it as a 3D X-ray. It's able to, with better resolution, assess findings that might be concerning for lung cancer.
Smoking is the leading cause of lung cancer, but other risk factors include asbestos exposure on the job, radon, smoke from cooking or wildfires, and other kinds of air pollution. And a new study suggests more than a dozen cancer types are striking more young adults. Researchers at the American Cancer Society found those born between the years 1965 and 1996 have a higher risk of developing 17 out of 34 cancer types studied when compared to older generations, including breast, pancreatic, and gastric cancers. Death rates in this younger age group are also higher for liver cancer in women, uterine, gallbladder, testicular, and colorectal cancers.
If one has unexplained symptoms, abdominal pain, bloating, changing your stools, make sure that you do seek medical care, and not simply, and if you're told it can't happen because you're too young, need to advocate for yourself.
Well, the cause of the increases in certain cancers in younger generations of adults is unknown. Experts say many of them are related to obesity. So one idea is that certain types of food are having an impact on those cancer rates. And coming up on News 3 Now at 6, more troubles for the Education Department's FAFSA process that could delay financial aid for students. Plus, the CDC releasing new rules when it comes to dogs traveling into the United States. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
After an accident, don't say anything and don't sign anything until you talk to Gruber Law Offices.
Call us first. we'll help get you the money you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Win a hand-pay jackpot at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Dodge Ram 2500 Laramie and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
Joe Biden put Kamala Harris in charge of the border.
We have a secure border.
On Kamala's watch, illegal border crossings hit record highs. Criminal illegal aliens are murdering Americans. Cartels are poisoning kids. And illegals are receiving taxpayer benefits and putting more burdens on hardworking taxpayers.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris is dishonest and dangerous. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Buy More, Save More sale is back. It's the best time to refresh your whole house because the more you buy, the more you save. You can take up to $300 off your purchase of bedroom, dining, sofas, home office, and so much more. Use Steinhaffel's 60-month financing to make your dream room even more affordable. The Buy More, Save More sale, only at Steinhaffel's. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Win a hand-pay jackpot at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Dodge Ram 2500 Laramie and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
There's a lot to love about life in the 608. Fundraisers, farmers markets, family events.
Tell Josh what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning in the 608. Weekdays only on News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. More student loan borrowers can expect to get an email soon about potential debt relief. The Department of Education says starting today, roughly 25 million borrowers with at least one outstanding federally held loan will receive information in an email. 4 groups are targeted: borrowers whose debt has grown even though payments were made for many years, those who took out undergrad loans on or before July 1st of 2005, those who took out graduate loans on or before July 1st of 2000, and those who qualify for debt forgiveness but never applied. This latest plan is expected to take effect in the fall, but regulations are not yet finalized and adjustments could be made. Meanwhile, there's been another setback in the launch of the new free application for federal student aid website, and of course known to many of us as FAFSA. The Education Department says colleges will not be able to submit corrections in bulk to update student financial records. The website makes it easier to quickly make revisions, especially important for large institutions with hundreds of thousands of corrected records. Submitting revisions manually could delay student aid disbursements, leaving some students unable to pay their bills and fees on time. The Education Department said it'll offer technical assistance to help schools with the process. The CDC is rolling out new rules for people traveling with dogs. The new regulations are aimed at preventing the spread of rabies. Effective today, all dogs entering the U.S. must appear healthy upon arrival, be at least 6 months old, and be microchipped. Pet owners must also have a receipt showing that a dog import form was submitted on the CDC website. For more information on what rules apply to your dog, go to cdc.gov. And still ahead, it's opening day at the Wisconsin State Fair. When we come back, a look at some of the new foods to try over in West Dallas. Plus, the heat and humidity coming to an end. Blaze returns. Your complete forecast straight ahead.
Your child's confidence stems from learning and seeing clearly. At Shopko Optical, our professional team will help your child start their journey of confidence by providing quality eye care in a warm and comfortable environment. Schedule their back-to-school exam at shopko.com.
When you need to relax and recharge your body and mind, retreat to the comfort of stressless furniture at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with the natural movements of your body, it's where true comfort begins and every day should end. Get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 spent and $200 off 4 dining chairs at the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
They don't clock out at 5 or care if it's the weekend. That means we keep working too.
So when Eric Hovde says that farmers don't work hard, That pisses me off.
Think of farming. Look at the old physical toil that it would take on your body. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
A California banker criticizing Wisconsin farmers for not working hard? We know what that is.
Eric Hovde, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on your painting project, now at Menards. Pittsburgh Ultra Interior Paint and Primer in One provides a durable, washable finish. Grab a gallon of Ultra Interior Flat Paint for just $16.88 after rebate. Give your room a grand finish with Pittsburgh Grand Distinction Interior Paint. It's a premium paint and primer with excellent durability and comes in over 750 one-coat colors. A gallon starts at $31.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
It's the Great Grill Out Sale at Hy-Vee this Friday through Sunday. Bacon wrapped sirloins just $2.99. Whole boneless pork loin just $1.98 a pound. Chicken breast just $2.48 a pound. Fresh ground chuck just $3.99 a pound. 8-ounce pork loin butterfly chops or America's chops, 3 for just $4. And our special recipe brats or patties, 8 for just $12, plus a 16-cent fuel saver. Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Everyone's vision needs are unique. At Shopko Optical, our caring team of professionals will work with you to ensure your vision is at its best. Shopko Optical can help you experience every detail, color, and breathtaking sight in clarity.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Cream Puff fans rejoice. The Wisconsin State Fair is back. News 3 Now's Tanisha Shaw went down to West Allis to see some of the new foods being offered.
Food, drinks, and more. It's all here at the 173rd Wisconsin State Fair. Food is an annual hit at the Wisconsin State Fair. This year, there's some interesting changes to classic food.
Well, our Sporkies winners, the first one is the Lemon Bites by Saz's. Second place went to the Glazer, which is ham, Swiss cheese on a donut with strawberry jam on it, and that's at the Bud Pavilion. Number 3 is my personal favorite, the Swine and Rise. It is by Camp Bar, vanilla custard on a waffle with maple syrup over the top and 2 sausage links.
I got a chance to try the deep fried lemonade bites.
Lemonade bites are gonna be $8.
Thank you. It's good. It's very sweet, very tart a little bit too, but it's good. Very moist, fluffy, but you definitely taste the lemon. In another Wisconsin tradition, cream puffs, celebrating 100 years in West Allis.
It began in 1924 as a way to promote the dairy industry in the state of Wisconsin.
To celebrate their milestone birthday, they have different flavors every day. We got reaction from festival goers.
We did have the root beer, which was today. It was delicious.
I only ate like the cream, but I thought it was kind of root beer vibes, but like not quite.
State Fair runs now until the 11th. We have admission prices and more on our website. Reporting in West Allis, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Meanwhile, if you're looking for some summertime fun in Beloit, kayak rentals are now available. Watercraft rentals will be accessible at the Rotary River Center docks and the John Rose Canoe and Kayak launch in the Chester Square public parking lot. Single kayak is $12 for the first hour, then $9 for each additional hour. For tandem kayaks, $17 for the first hour, then $12 for additional hours. All rentals must be returned by sunset. You have to be 18 or older to rent a kayak. Those younger than 18 have to be with an adult. Scattered storms across southern Wisconsin. Blaze now with a complete forecast.
And we have those alert day conditions still probably through the early evening hours. Thankfully, we haven't seen any severe thunderstorms in our area. There was a severe thunderstorm north, but we are going to continue to track the chance for heavy rain, maybe some strong wind gusts, and then also some weak funnel clouds popping up across southern Wisconsin, and that very slight chance for maybe an isolated weak tornado, though the environment isn't super conducive for an actual tornado reaching the ground. Marginal risk continues to be issued for all of our coverage area. That's the lowest of the Storm Prediction Center's risk for severe weather. So that is some good news there. As I mentioned, the minor flooding and the strong winds are going to be our greatest threats through the rest of this evening into the early overnight hours. Already 3 funnel clouds popping up into eastern parts of Dodge County, there near the Wisconsin River in the Dells, and then up there in Berlin in Green Lake County. So we're continuing to see these slow-moving thunderstorms kind of feed off of each other and get a little bit of rotation. Here's a possible funnel cloud in northern Adams County sent to us from Ziggy on Twitter. This was in Grand Marsh. You can see that very clear lowering from the base of that thunderstorm. If you've got any weather photos, scan this QR code right there. But of course, always make sure that you are being safe when taking any sort of severe weather photos. Future Track is going to continue to bring the center of this low pressure system into the heart of our coverage area, and that is going to continue to really kind of force these storms to develop. There's not a lot beyond the surface for these storms to feed off of, and that's the reason why they're not probably as severe as they could be. But with the heat and humidity, they certainly are going to be dumping quite a lot of rain. Overhead, there's about 2 inches of precipitable water here across Wisconsin. So essentially, if the entire atmosphere across Wisconsin were to rain itself out, we'd pick up about 2 inches of rain. So these storms are going to be packing a punch in terms of heavy rain totals. And then as we go overnight, kicking off the midnight hour on the dry side across southwestern portions of the state, we'll still see some lingering showers and thunderstorms there into the Milwaukee area, but maybe a lingering shower as we're waking up on Friday. Otherwise, we're going to gradually clear as we go throughout the end of your work week. Little lightning signatures popping up, so not very organized, not strong thunderstorms by any means, but they are continuing to slowly move eastward. Over the last 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, they barely have moved off of 39, and that's the reason why we find flash flood warnings across parts of Waushara County, Adams County, and then there into southern Adams County as well, just north of the Dells, because radar estimates over the last 3 hours, upwards of 4 inches of rain there to the west of Watoma, to the north and east of the Dells, and then just north of New Chester, south of Preston, an estimated 3.5 inches of rain. All that water obviously has to go somewhere, but until it does, make sure you're not trying to cross any flooded areas or roads. We also find some higher amounts into parts of Dodge County. The good news is once it does rain, you're going to cool off. Otherwise, you're hanging out in those low to mid 80s, but it certainly feels hotter because of these dew points. Our temperatures have cooled off just a little bit, but the good news is for folks who are not a fan of the heat and humidity, you just have to wait through the weekend and then we start to cool on down. Tonight, though, humid with those scattered showers and thunderstorms with that severe weather chance ending early. It's going to be humid as we linger in those upper 60s to low 70s overnight. There's a look at your 7 and your 10-day forecast. As I said, after this weekend, we're hanging out in the upper 70s to low 80s for high temperatures with a couple chances of rain there Monday through Wednesday of next week.
And coming up in sports, a trio of Badgers honored by the Big Ten, where Wisconsin volleyball is picked to finish. Find out next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
She's the district attorney who protected children from sexual predators. She's the attorney general who stood up to the big banks to protect homeowners and won. The senator who fought to defend a woman's right to make her own medical decisions. And the vice president who fought to cap the price of insulin at $35 a month. As America turns the page, Kamala is ready. FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
A little help here?
Keep it down. The noise is making them angry.
Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Plus, no interest until 2026.
Call 866 for Feldco.
It's Empire Today's half-price sale. Half price on carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and laminate. Plus, half price on quality professional installation. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Drive into summer with the rugged Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Summer is for exploring, so get outdoors, kick up some dust, get muddy, or just find that perfect campsite. All from Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer event.
Joe Biden made Kamala Harris border czar to fix immigration. First, she ignored it.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point.
Then she just lied.
The border is secure.
10 million illegal immigrants. Migrant crime out of control. Fentanyl kills thousands.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris. Failed, weak, dangerously liberal.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
The Packers will have a little different look to their uniforms for their home game against the Texans on October 20th. Part of the team's first ever winter warning game, Green Bay will don white pants, white jerseys, and how about this? An all-white helmet, minus the green G, of course. And I sound like a broken record at this point, but for the third straight day, Hunter Roller found himself on a preseason watch list. This time, the Badger safety was named to the Werfel Trophy watch list. It's college football's premier award for community service.
Just feels like he's building up to a big season ahead.
Hopefully. They're hoping for it.
Last one wasn't too bad either. Let's go to Blaze. Final check of the forecast.
No severe thunderstorms right now, but we'll still keep an eye out, I would say, for the next couple of hours, especially in parts of Jefferson, Rock, maybe Walworth counties, just because that air hasn't been touched quite yet. Flooding is going to be our main concern, minor flooding that is, as these storms have a lot of rain to use. There is a look at our 10-day forecast. If you don't like the heat and humidity, just wait for the weekend to come to an end, because we are back into some more seasonal air as we go into next week.
All right, Blaze, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6, folks. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tonight for News 3 Now at 10.